Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's amazing to be back with you and I have missed you so much. It's crazy how time flies. I have been so lucky that I have a lot of work to do and I just haven't figured out my schedule yet. I just realized I have limited amount of time every one of us has, so I just need to kind of prioritize to do these recordings and find a better structure to fit this into my schedule, because I really love doing these videos and hang out with you like this. But if you want to follow me more daily, I do have my Twitter where I update more frequently, so you can follow me on Liz Bitcoin or just search for Bitcoin Liz. I will pop up there, so there you see more daily updates from me. But what I want to talk about today is, of course, the Bitcoin halving. It's getting closer and closer, so it's exciting. Maybe a little bit too exciting for a lot of people, especially taking a look at Twitter. It's a little bit worrying for me to see how massive gains people are expecting like the day after. So I just want to address that topic and to talk about what we actually might see right after the halving, and of course a little bit more long term as well. But I think overall the short term expectations are way too high for people, so I want to talk about that. And after that I want to speak more about these newcomers into the space, which is great that we do have new people coming into in the crypto space, but also kind of what they are expecting, and also the ones who have no idea about Bitcoin and blockchain, what are they saying now? So I will address that and tell you more about the discussions I have been having with a lot of people recently. So first of all, the third Bitcoin halving is 5 days away. So now it's really getting closer, and we're kind of like building up this excitement, especially looking at Twitter, and I am contributing to that excitement as well because I am excited. But when I see all the comments that I get, like, okay, so the day after, how high will we be? How much do I have to buy? And that worries me because I see how little people know. There's so many newcomers into the space, and I said it's great that we do have them here, but they are expecting so big gains like the day after. Their expectations are way too high, and I know that they will be disappointed the day after the halving, because it seems like they're expecting, like, as soon as the countdown clock reaches zero, that it will be like boom up, and it won't happen. So I really spend time on explaining to many people, like, okay, you have to think more long term, because looking just at the previous halvings, we didn't see massive gains the day after. It took like 6 months to 1 year before we saw new all-time highs. And I do think we will see new all-time highs, but as said, it will take time. So I'm kind of trying to be more rational and tell people the truth, to say that yes, the Bitcoin halving, it is a big event. It is. I mean, the production of Bitcoin is cut in half. The miners' block reward is cut into half. It's huge, but it won't be shown right away when you look at the Bitcoin price. I mean, when it actually happens, think about that. The miners, they will actually start receiving less Bitcoin for their mining. So currently they get 12.5 Bitcoin for every block. They will get 6.25. And not all miners will have, they won't be profitable with having their mining anymore. So a lot of miners will probably shut down their shops, which is, you understand, because it's not profitable for them to mine anymore. So that means that there will be a lot of Bitcoin that will be sold, because they need to survive. They need to have money to pay their bills. So maybe we will even see a little dump after, because there will be probably a big sell-off from miners after the halving. So I just kind of want to make people realize that, we're not skyrocketing after the halving. So you have to think more long term. And I do think that we will reach new all-time highs, which will mean at least $20,000, because that's approximately what the previous all-time high is. We will definitely get there. And looking at the stock to flow pricing model, it says that we will reach 100,000 before 2024. Or during 2024. And I definitely think that is possible. And we need to look at those things. And also what I want to address is, you can't really do technical analysis right now. I mean, you can't use the 200-day moving average or those things and do your analysis at currently, because we don't know. We don't know how it will affect. I mean, it's basically like guessing, but you have to have in mind and look at the previous actions that we have seen after the halving, and also think how it affects all the different parts. Because I mean, as I said, miners will be affected tremendously by this. And still, what will pump the price up is if we have the same demand that we have now, but less Bitcoin being produced. Of course, that shows that the price will go up, because if the demand is the same and there's less Bitcoin, after a while, the price will go up naturally. So yeah, that's what I just want to spread all to you newcomers into the space. Welcome, but have in mind that nothing will happen once the countdown clock reaches 0. But I'm so happy, and it's so great to be in the Twitter community as well, and seeing everyone so excited, because it is a big happening, it is a big event, and of course I don't want to take that away from anyone. Of course I'm excited, just to be clear. As said, I'm a little bit worried about people's expectations, especially from the new people into the space. As I said, there have come people to me and ask, who are not from the crypto space, who have been asking me, look, so what is Bitcoin halving, and how will this affect the price? Is it a good time to buy now? And should I buy Bitcoin Cash instead because it's cheaper? And I'm like, oh God, no, back up. So people really have not idea what is actually going on. They don't know the difference between Bitcoin Cash, and yeah. So I just really want to encourage you to tell these people about the actual things going on, and tell that, well, this is only for Bitcoin and this will not affect the price short term. You have to think more long term, and like that. What I have also realized is that when I explain Bitcoin in detail, this is at least for people in Sweden or in the West in general, is that they don't understand it. They don't understand how it works under the hood. And that's when they kind of lose interest. They're like, okay, sounds cool, but I don't understand. So what I've realized is that it's better to talk about blockchain and the opportunities blockchain gives. So for example, I have kind of switched to talk about, well, blockchain real world use cases. So I talk about like, oh, you can use it actually in healthcare. They do it in Estonia, where I'm from. They use blockchain to store well, patient details from hospitals on a blockchain. And that people get, they're like, oh wow, very cool. You don't have to have a another part involved in that. That's very cool, and it's very secure. But when I explain Bitcoin, that oh, it's basically you can send money from point A to point B without any other authority or bank being involved, they're like, but how can I trust? They don't trust each other. They trust higher authorities. I mean, in Sweden, we trust the government really, really much. And I think that is the problem why people don't really get into crypto here. Because we kind of want there to be a higher authority involved, because we trust them so much. We don't trust each other as much as we trust the higher authority. So when I explain blockchain instead, they kind of get it. They get it better, and they're like, okay, that's really cool. We can, because they understand that if we have, for example, blockchain in healthcare, that would mean that hospitals could speak between each other much easier, because now they work in silos. They have different patient details in different storages, and they don't communicate with each other. So if there's one patient coming from one hospital to another, they don't have the files. But with blockchain, that is possible, and that is used up till 95% in Estonia now. And I'm so proud that Estonia is doing that. But looking at the background of Estonia as well, it's a little bit different. I mean, it was a long time ago. We were a part of the Soviet Union, so things haven't been as stable there. So we kind of, for us, it's so clear that we have a thing like blockchain, because we know that, well, then we don't need to trust on higher authority. For us, that's just clear. That's like, yeah, of course we're gonna have it that way if we can. It doesn't mean that we don't trust the government per se, but for us it's just so clear to have it that way. Anyway, now I talked so much, but that's what I wanted to talk about today. Mostly the halving and kind of preparations. I am super excited, but I also want to point out that you have to think rationally and not expect massive gains right away. We will, of course, reach all-time highs. I truly believe that. But it will take time. So just if you're feeling insecure, go and look how the Bitcoin price has been evolving after the previous halvings. You will see it takes longer time. Nothing happens actually there in the beginning. So don't just freak out the day after that nothing hasn't happened. think about it more long term. Okay guys, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And before we finish off, I also want to highlight that it's so important to educate yourself in times like this when we have more time. So don't spend your time on Netflix or just sitting in a couch. I mean, that's nice to do for one day, but don't do it longer than that. Use this time to get your knowledge. So I personally really like Ivan on Tech Academy courses. I am also involved and helping them out with getting the students kind of career coaching, because as you know, I've been working a lot in HR and recruitment. So I'm also sharing my tips how you should act during a job interview and everything like that. So if you get involved in the premium sign up, you will get access to that. So definitely check out the Ivan on Tech Academy for courses. They are really a game changer, and I'm telling you, the job market has really shifted now in times like this, and blockchain is, well, according to LinkedIn, the #1 skill that is needed this year. And I truly believe you should reconsider your career and look at the skills that are going to be needed in the future. So you have time now, learn something that will give you an edge in the job market in the future. So definitely check Ivan on Tech Academy out. These are really high-class courses, and if you don't want to sign up right away, you can, I think he does like webinars once a month, so you can just hear out more about the academy first. So yes, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Before you leave, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. See you guys very soon. Goodbye.